Hello everyone. This is the day two of month series. I'm Naveen Kumar, and today I'll show you how we can create the user's schema and the user model to store the user's registration data in our backend, so we can be specified that who is the authenticated user. But today I'm not going to show you uh, how we can basically address the authentication. Today I'll show you only how we can create the user schema and the user's model. So let me walk you through my screen first, and then let's begin it. So today's agenda is, let me show you first. This is the stage one is we have already accomplished in the yesterday's video, and today we are going to create first is the user schema and the user mode for the registration purpose, and how we can basically create and which for user schema is nothing but the format in which format you want the user to store to basically add their data to store in your backend. Uh, so let's say if you're providing any form in your front end, if you see any form uh, to sign for a sign up form or to basically make a sign up, you can simply just you add your email, username, and the password, and based that these those are things nothing but the user schema in the backend in which format you want the backend store your data will get stored in the backend in the database. And user model is nothing but the collection and the schema in which you in which collection you want to store your users registration data, and in which basically what kind of schema you want. So, so for that, we need to create these two files first. So I've already created this user schema file here, and there is one users models JS. So I'll start with I'll start to create first the user schema. So how we can create it? For that, we need a mongoose. With the help of mongoose, we can create it. So I'll say const mongoose, or let's do one thing. We can simply just go to the config, and I can simply copy paste it from here. We need to import the first mongoose. With the help of the mongoose, we can create. So I'll say user schema, user schema. To create a user schema, we need to create a variable first, and with the help of mongoose, we'll, we're going to create a schema. So schema is nothing but the format in which we want to be what kind of data we want from the user. So I'll say username. First is username, and, and what kind of what which type of data you want from as a username from the user. So I'll say string. It should be string, and it is required to add and to be specific that the user is only that particular user is registered with that email address. So I'll say string should type should be string of the email, and required is true. But there is one more thing that should be your email should be unique, because every if you see that every username is every user's email is unique. You can't just put anyone's emails to sign up or log in. So I'll say password. Now I'm going to add the password, and it should be required. Now password can be anything. I mean, you can simply it can be unique as well, but I'm going to only provide it as a required and in the type of string. So my user scheme is basically user schema is ready right now. Now I only need to export it. So I'll say module dot exports, and let's say user schema. So now my schema is ready. Now I need to store it this schema in my user model with the help of the mongoose, and I'll also create the user collection to in which as a directory in my database. So I can store all the users data in my database in that particular users collection. So I'll say const mongoose mongoose. Uh, to create the user model, you need again you need a mongoose, and I'll say const user model is equals to mongoose dot model model, and here you need to provide the user collection. Basically, it is some kind of folder that will be create that will be that will that will be automatically created in your database to store that user's data. So you could say user, I'll say users, and I'll pass the comma, or you can say users here. So automatically, when we register any user's data, it will get stored in that particular in the database. It will create a users collection folder, and inside that folder, the all the users data will get stored on. So uh, I'll say user. Now I need to add my schema here. So I'll say user schema, and I think I need to import it. So I'll say const user schema here. So I'll say require now I need to import it from the user schema, and this is imported. Now I only need to provide the schema here, and I need to export it again. Module dot exports user here. Now this is done. So this is how you can basically create your user schema. This is nothing but the format, in which format you want the users, you want the data from the user. So I created the username format, and which type of format you want the user's data. So I only created, and the email should be unique. So for the uniqueness, you have to provide this Boolean value here in your backend from your backend. So this is your user schema, and you need to import it, and after then the step two is to basically create a user model. So to, to create the collection in your database, you need to create a user model first, and you have to specify the name of your collection, and after then you need to add your schema, what kind of schema you want to add, and then you can simply just add user model or basically export it. So when we are going to create user routers, which is going to be tomorrow's day three video, and then I'll show you how we can basically use this. So till this point, uh, this is it. So thank you.